The world feels different right now. Uncertainty seems to touch every corner, from the economy to the climate to our sense of safety. And yet, here in the garden, there's still a kind of quiet truth that never changes. Even in a year like this one, with droughts, with heat waves, with crops that didn't turn out the way I'd like, the garden keeps offering something. Sometimes it's food for the table, and sometimes it's just a place to escape to. Growing something, whether it's in a big backyard or just in pots on your balcony, is more than a hobby right now. It's a quiet act of resilience. It's proof that we can nurture life even in the middle of chaos. It's food security. It's beauty and hope, all rooted in the same soil. Some days you may not feel like showing up. I have those days, too many. But every time I do, I'm reminded that this is worth it, because a garden gives back, not just in what you harvest, but in how it nurtures your mind and spirit. Here in the garden, the headlines don't reach. The economy doesn't decide how seeds sprout. The climate is felt, yes, but in the garden, even after the hardest summer, something always survives. Something always tries again. My own garden has been struggling. The drought took more from it than I expected. Weeds found their way in when the heat kept me indoors. And sometimes I look at it and think, this isn't what I imagined it would be. But then I noticed the marigolds that I planted from seeds blooming, the comfrey pushing through with its wide green leaves, and the mugwort standing tall, just waiting to be harvested. Even in imperfection, life is here. Life is insisting. And that, I think, is what makes the garden so powerful in uncertain times. It doesn't demand perfection, it teaches resilience. When the world feels unpredictable, gardening teaches us to adapt, to flow with change, and to find steadiness even in uncertain times. Seeds sprout when the season is right. Rain comes, sometimes late, but it comes. A garden is never fixed, never finished, but always moving forward. In tending a garden, we remember that growth is still possible, that beauty can still emerge, that nourishment is still within reach, and in times when everything else feels unstable, these reminders are essential. You don't need acres of land to feel this. A single pot of basil on a balcony, a tomato plant in a recycled container, even just planting a seed in a jar on a windowsill, it's enough to remind us of our place in the cycle of life. In that small act of growing, you stepped out of the noise and into the rhythm of the earth. You say, despite the headlines, despite the uncertainty, I choose to create life. That choice is powerful. That choice is hope. The garden is never in a hurry, never anxious about tomorrow. Seeds sprout when they're ready, leaves fall when their work is done. Even in decay, there's purpose, feeding the soil for what comes next. And when we look closely, we see ourselves in that same rhythm. Moments of growth, seasons of rest, times of struggle, and times of renewal. The garden whispers that we are not separate from these cycles, but deeply connected to them. A part of something far greater, far more enduring than the worries of the day. This is why gardening matters in uncertain times. Because every garden, no matter how small, is a quiet act of resistance against despair. Every leaf, every bloom, every harvest whispers, life goes on. And maybe in these times, this is the most important headline of all. I'd love to know what you are growing right now. And how does your garden bring you peace in these uncertain times? Share your story in the comments. And if you're new here, I invite you to subscribe and be part of this journey of growth and resilience. Thank you for watching the Garden Profiler. Keep growing, and I shall see you in the next video. Out here, the garden is never in a hurry.